Otto and I are doing a part of the Camino de Santiago. It's quite cold, only 4 degrees. I'm a bit nervous, to be honest, to start the Camino. Wondering if it will be like dog friendly. Wow, this is very, very impressive. The wind is so cold. Whew. Truth be told, so far it's been quite hard. The landscape has been nicer than yesterday, but it still feels like a bit of a slog today. Really excited about the vibe on the Camino. Hi, my name is Ellie. I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker. Enjoying a cup of coffee with a view is my absolute happy place. And this is Otto, an adopted stray dog, crisps lover, and the best hiking companion. Come join us as we explore the great outdoors, one trail at a time. In September of 2024, Otto and I traveled to Spain to walk the Camino Via de la Plata from Salamanca to Santiago. Come along for part 1 and our first 75 kilometers from Salamanca to Zamora. Good morning everyone, and welcome to a new video and a new adventure. It's still very early, only 6 AM, and Otto and I are on our way to the train station to set off for another big adventure that I'm going to talk about later. It's so crazy to think about that we're in the south of Germany, in Stuttgart now, but tonight hopefully we'll be in Barcelona in Spain. It's quite a long way, well over 1,000 kilometers and 14 hours on the train, and yeah, I'm still pretty tired. So for now I think I'm just going to get a coffee and get settled in the train, and we'll see you later. Let's go! Hello everyone! Otto and I have made it back to summer, at least it feels like that. We've been on the train for 7 hours already, and now we're in Valence, which is in the south of France. So I think we're a bit more than halfway already, which feels really nice. And after all the sitting on a train, we're now going for a little walk around the station, because we have 2.5 hours before our next train arrives, which I intentionally booked that way so that we can have just some time to stretch our legs and for Otto to have a big walk. It's pretty warm here and sunny, as you can see. I think it's 24-25 degrees, which feels really hot, especially since back home it already felt like autumn had started. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this looks so cool. This is basically the end of the Alps, like on the French side. I actually know the area a little bit, and it's really stunning. I went to university in Aix-en-Provence, which is just, I think another 45 minutes from here on the train. So it feels really great to be back, if only for a couple of hours. We've made it to Barcelona. Woohoo! And we're both very, very tired, and it's already 10:30 at night. So yeah, it's been a really long day, over 16 hours from door to door basically. I just picked up some takeaway just from around the corner, and I'm going to have a bit of food now, and then we'll go to sleep. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning everyone! It's day 2 of our travel to Spain. As you have seen, we stayed in Barcelona last night in a little hostel near the train station. And this morning we switched to another method of transport. I rented a car basically for one way to go from Barcelona to Salamanca. It's quite a long way to go. We still have, I think, in total almost 800 kilometers to drive. You're probably wondering why I didn't take the train for that second leg of our travel. But to be honest, it's a bit harder to travel in Spanish trains with a dog, because you either need a crate for him, and obviously I don't have a crate and I didn't want to buy one just to throw it away, and then at the end when we have to get back, buy another one. And yeah, I don't know, it was just a bit of a hassle. And the only other option is to take a dog on a lead with a muzzle, which obviously would be fine, but only on specific trains. And yeah, it would have been quite hard doing that with Otto being allowed only on specific trains, and it was just too much of a nightmare to organize all that, and we would have had to change multiple times. I don't know, it just felt easier to rent a car for this day, like for one day, and also way cheaper, to be honest. So yeah, I'm doing that. It is what it is, and then I will hopefully be in Salamanca tomorrow morning. And the reason we're doing that, like traveling all those thousands of kilometers to Spain, I think I haven't even told you that yet, is that Otto and I are doing a part of the Camino de Santiago with my dad, who's already in Spain. He started a couple of days ago. Otto and I will join him in Salamanca, and from there we'll do the last, I think it's almost 500 kilometers on the Camino Via de la Plata, which goes from Sevilla to like basically parallel to the border to Portugal, up to Santiago. And yeah, we're doing the second part. I think in total it's 1,000 kilometers, but my dad has already done the first part. So yeah, we're joining him for the last almost 500 kilometers over the next 2.5 weeks. And to be honest, I'm a bit nervous. Like, I've been to Spain like for partying, but I've never really hiked there. I don't know, I'm kind of nervous, wondering if it will be like dog friendly, whether I will find vegan food, but I'm really excited to see something new, have this different adventure. I think walking on a Camino is like the vibe and the experience is probably totally different from other hikes I've done so far, where I was mainly on my own, and I really preferred doing that, and more like in nature, in more rough remote terrain. And this will be, I think, more with like obviously villages, places to stay, bars, and on the way. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what it's like. I'm going to get my first coffee and then we'll drive towards Salamanca, and we'll see you later. Let's go! We've made it to our stop for the night in a hotel somewhere north of Madrid, basically just on the motorway in the middle of nowhere. But I'm really happy I got here. I'm really happy everything worked out with the rental car and the hotel as well. I just took a much needed shower after 2 days of traveling, and then tomorrow it's just 2.5 hours to get to Salamanca to return the car, and then to finally meet my dad. See you tomorrow. Good night. We've officially made it to Salamanca. We had quite some hard days, long travel days. And yeah, but we finally made it almost to what feels like the end of Europe. It kind of is. It's not too far from the border to Portugal and about 2,000 kilometers from our home in Germany. I think we're going to explore the city a little bit. From what I've already seen, it's a really beautiful city. There's a really big old cathedral from the 16th century, I think, and the oldest university in Spain, and one of the oldest in all of Europe. I think it was founded in the beginning of the 13th century, so it really has a long tradition, and yeah, the city is quite famous. There are a lot of beautiful old churches. This is one of the old university buildings. Look at that. This is really stunning. And just on the other side, that's the cathedral. And wow, this is very, very impressive. This is it for today. We just had dinner and a beer, and now I'm really ready for bed, and Otto is too. Really excited to start the Via de la Plata tomorrow. I also got my pilgrim's passport today and my very first stamp today. Really excited to collect these along the way. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. This is Plaza Mayor, and we'll start the Camino. Let's go! But I think we'll start by having a little breakfast. I think my dad's already checking his phone to see if something's open, and yeah, to have a coffee, and then we're off. Ooh, look at that! Our very first scallop shell sign. We just had a breakfast, and luckily they had vegan options, like accidentally vegan, like toasted bread and jam. And I had a fresh orange juice, which was so great. I think I'm probably going to have that every day. Just tasted so great. And a coffee. And now we're just leaving the city of Salamanca. I think for the first couple of kilometers today we're going to walk along a bigger road and probably more on the sidewalk. But after that I think we should slowly get into the countryside. I don't know if I've talked about that yet, but I'm a bit nervous, to be honest, to start the Camino for a couple of different reasons. One, the accommodation situation. Obviously most albergues, which are the easiest accommodation option, don't allow dogs, which I can totally understand because it's mainly a mixed dorm room, so obviously you can't bring a dog. Which is why I brought my tent, hoping that if the albergue has some sort of terrace or garden next to it, that they will allow me to pitch the tent there and sleep outside with Otto, but so that I can still use the facilities inside. That's what I'm hoping to do. I hope that's possible. I don't know about the wild camping situation. I think I might try that as well, but I don't know if it's going to be easy to find something where there's no livestock and away from villages. I don't know if that's doable to like basically hide a little bit, so we'll see about that. And then my second concern is about farm and guard dogs. I don't know, you hear a lot of horror stories about them being quite aggressive if you approach a farm or livestock. I hope it's not going to be too bad, especially with Otto. I hope they don't seem as a threat. So yeah, but that's something on my mind too. And then my third concern, which is a bit of a smaller one obviously in comparison, is the food situation for me, because I've only been in Spain for 2 days, but I already had patatas bravas like 3 times, and there weren't any vegan options, so I think it's going to be a lot of black Americano for me, and probably a lot of salad and potatoes, but yeah, that's not too bad. I think there are a couple of shops on the way so that I can maybe get some tofu or lentils, just something for a bit more protein. And I also took a couple of Yule meals for emergency if I can't find anything else. But yeah, these are just some things that go through my mind, because obviously you read a lot about the Camino, but there seems like not many people do it with a dog and a tent. So yeah, I don't know, there's really not a lot that you can find on the internet about that, so but we'll see, and that's why I'm making these videos, just to show you our experience, maybe our problems that we're facing, but we'll see. But still, I'm really excited about the vibe on the Camino, what it's going to be like. And yeah, I was doing it with my dad. It's a really great thing, and yeah, so we'll just see what happens. We made it to our end point for today. It's very early, it's only 2:30, but it was either 17-18 kilometers to here or 38 kilometers. So we opted for a bit of a shorter day, and I think we're going to go to the albergue to check in. We got a room there, basically a double private room. Dogs are allowed in this albergue, which is really great. So Otto and I will get to sleep inside tonight, which is really great. And yeah, just resting a bit. I'm going to get some work done. This is what you get for 15 euros. Really great that we can stay inside with him. There's no food tonight, like the bars and restaurants are closing, so they're not open today in the evening, but there's a little supermarket and there's a kitchen in the albergue where you can basically make yourself some food, and going to do that. This is my dinner for tonight. Some carrot salad, olives, pot noodles, some wine. At least there's some veggies, because there weren't a lot of options at the store, but yeah, this is totally fine, and I'm going to have my dinner. And yeah, this is a really nice place. And good morning everyone on day 2 of our Camino adventure. We're just leaving the little village we stayed at last night, and as you can see, the heavy wind, rain clouds have cleared and it's a beautiful sunny day. We had a really good night in the albergue. It was so peaceful and quiet, and the bed was so comfy. I had such a good night's sleep. I think I slept for like almost 12 hours. And now we're on our next stretch, which is about 21 kilometers. And yeah, really excited for today. So let's go! For most of today's stretch, I think we'll be walking along this road there. I don't know, I think it's a motorway, but there's not too much traffic, luckily. Not the most scenic stretch today, but at least, as you can see, it's on good path. It's easy walking, not a lot of elevation, and obviously it's all part of the hike. The forecast wasn't very accurate for today because it was supposed to be very sunny, but now it started to rain. The wind is so cold. Our first dog encounter, but luckily behind a fence. The landscape slowly seems to change a little bit. As you can see up there, the soil is becoming more of a red color and there's more like little trees. And I think there's more wine production in this area and not that many like fields with crops as we've seen yesterday. Almost 19 kilometers down and we're slowly getting to the village I'm planning to stay at. There's only one albergue there, and from what I saw on Google Maps there's a big garden around it, so I really hope that yeah, they will let me camp inside. And yeah, just happy to get there. The weather's great again, and yeah, I think there's a bar or a cafe too, just to get a coffee and a little rest. We've made it to the albergue, which is right here. And my dad sleeps inside, but they were fully booked and they don't allow dogs inside, which I obviously totally understand. But they let me pitch the tent right here, which is really great. This was such a big relief because when we got here it was quite early, only 2 p.m. and there's only one bar that's open, and the little shop village store only opens at 7 p.m. tonight. So if I wouldn't have been able to pitch the tent, I probably would have needed to wait like 6 hours on a bench somewhere, and it's quite chilly in the wind still. So yeah, I'm really happy that they let me pitch the tent here. Otto is already having his treat, and now I can't wait to have a little rest myself. We had a really nice rest in the garden of the albergue, and now I just made myself some food because there isn't a kitchen in the albergue and the restaurant is close to in the village. I bought something from the little shop. There weren't a lot of options again, so yeah, I'm just having like pasta, probably the dinner for the next 2.5 weeks, because it's quite hard to find something like anything that's vegan in this little shop, which isn't that surprising obviously. So I just got some fruit and a couple of nuts for tomorrow, and some bread. And for tonight I bought some tomato sauce and some like tiny pasta, and I got a lemonade, tonic water, and of course some crisps, which is really nice. Apparently people in Spain love crisps as well. I'm going to have dinner and then early bedtime, because tomorrow is quite a long day. I think it's 32 kilometers to get to Zamora, which is a bigger town, city, and yeah, I've booked a hotel there, and there's hopefully plenty of shops to resupply. See you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. It's quite cold, only 4 degrees, but as you can see, it's going to be a really nice day, probably. It's already almost 7:30 and the sun's only going up now, which is why I got up a bit earlier, because we have a long day. So yeah, just going to get packed up and then get going. Good morning everyone, on day 3 of our Camino adventure. We just left the little village we stayed at last night. It's still quite cold, to be honest. The sun just got up and it's already 9. We had a pretty good night's sleep. There were a lot of dogs on a farm nearby that made a lot of noise during the night, but it was okay. We still had a good night's sleep. Apparently it's quite unusual for like September that it's this cold at night, only about 3 to 4 degrees. It was a bit chilly. I had to wear all my layers almost. Now we're on our way to Zamora, which is about 20 miles away. So it's actually not that bad that it's still cold, because we have a long day and it's not supposed to be very hot today, but still in the sun, obviously with no clouds. It will feel probably quite warm, so it's kind of nice to get a couple of kilometers in before it gets too warm. I only had a tea for breakfast and some bread from yesterday, and I'm going to have a couple of energy bars, because truth be told, so far it's been quite hard in Spain, like in the little villages, to find any vegan options or even like hiker options in general, like energy bars, nut bars, something like that. That was impossible to find so far. Or my usual thing, what I always eat, like hummus, also didn't find that. So far it's been a bit hard and not the best diet, but they have a lot of fresh fruit. I was hoping that I would find like options like peanut butter, tortillas, avocado more easily, which so far that didn't happen. But for now I think we'll just start walking. As you can see, today so far is much prettier than the last 2 days where we walked along a road for most of the day. But now we're getting more into the countryside. It feels really nice to be out hiking, so let's go! Look at that, a little bit of woodland here, and the area down there, that's much lower, so I think we'll drop down quite a bit. We're on 850 meters right now, and I think down there that's probably 550, 600 meters. So far today has been a really nice walk. This down there is our first and only village for today that we're going through. This is Villanueva. And so far we've covered almost 13 kilometers of the 32 of today, so we made some good progress. And I really hope that there's a bar in this little village, fingers crossed, so that we can get a coffee. There probably isn't. In a couple of guidebooks it says that it's closed for like permanently. I don't know, but I hope that there is one. That would be so great to have a coffee. And yeah, I also need to remove 2 of my layers because it's getting a bit warmer now. But still, yeah, it's the perfect hiking weather, honestly. It's a bit of a breeze and yeah, not too warm at all. Apparently there is no bar, but I think we still have a break. Ooh, this is going to be the spot for our lunch break.
Das ist ein bisschen groß, vielleicht.
Ja, nee.
Schafft er das?
Ja, ja.
Noch eins. So, aber das Ei esse ich schon.
Ooh, 22 kilometers down, so only about 10 to go for today. And to be honest, today, I mean, the landscape has been nicer than yesterday, but it still feels like a bit of a slog today, to be honest, because it doesn't change that much over like the last 20 kilometers. I mean, there were some woodlands this morning, but now for the last 8 kilometers it's just been walking along fields on sandy tracks, and yeah, I don't know, it just feels like it goes on and on and on, and there's not that much like to see or look at. It feels a bit harder like to keep going just because the time doesn't seem to go by. But yeah, at least it's not that long now. That's Zamora down there, and this sign, ooh, I didn't even see that before, but it says 10 kilometers. I think I'm going to take another break as soon as I see a tree to have a little bit of shade. But we're really lucky today that it's not hot at all, honestly. So yeah, that's a big relief, because I was dreading the heat a little bit and the sunny weather, but yeah, it's totally fine. "25 kilometers down, and we just had another snack break, and now only probably good 1.5 hours to go to our end point for tonight. And I booked a hotel there, and I'm really excited, especially after last night where it was quite cold, and yeah, just the like stress of getting started with another hike, getting into the routine, and then after this long day today that feels like it's going on forever. Really happy to get to the hotel to have a really good rest. And then tomorrow it's Sunday, and we're going to stay in Zamora tomorrow as well for a rest day that I'm going to use to explore the city a little bit. I think there's a cathedral there as well, but mainly for editing and getting some work done. So yeah, really nice to have these first 75 kilometers done after today. So yeah, life is good. Ooh, look at that. This looks so cute. was quite a long day. It was a bit of a slog in the end, but we've made it. I already took a shower and now we're going to dinner and yeah, just have some food, and then tomorrow a well-deserved rest day and just yeah, doing not much, just resting. Really happy that this long stretch is behind us, that we've made it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning from Zamora. Today's our rest day and it's Sunday, and as you can see the weather is beautiful and we just explored the city a little bit. It's really beautiful. I've never heard of Zamora before, but it seems like it's well worth a visit. Beautiful old town and a really big cathedral and a little fort, like old castle. And yeah, I'm not going to do that much today, just yeah, strolling around town. I already had a coffee and now I'm getting a bit of work done and yeah, just soaking in the sun and yeah, this is perfect.